Tonight on Connecticut's news station, a 6-year-old is recovering in the hospital after accidentally shooting himself in the hand.
And tonight, a major follow-up to the Connecticut State Police ticket scandal. The union claims that reports are misleading and many of the officers named in the probe are innocent. We're getting the union side of the story while the case is still under investigation. And Demolition Day, a historic chapel comes down. So why is it coming down in the first place? We're looking at the history of the tiny building at the Congregation Beth Israel Cemetery in Hartford.
Now at 6, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us here on the Fox 61 News at 6. I'm Sarah Sanchez.
And I'm Ben Goldman. We are following breaking news in Hartford right now. Yet another reminder to keep a close eye on young children. A 6-year-old boy is in the hospital after Hartford police say he accidentally shot himself in the hand. That child is now at Connecticut Children's recovering. Fox 61's Samaya Hernandez is on scene with the latest details from neighbors and from police. Samaya, what are you learning?
Police say this could have been a lot worse. They say it's a case of a boy finding a gun and accidentally shooting himself. They say it could have been a lot worse, and all of it happening in a home behind me here on Martin Street. Based on the preliminary investigation, Hartford police say a 6-year-old boy was outside playing when he found a gun. He brought it inside and accidentally shot himself through the hand. The boy's father called 911 just after 1 o'clock. Officers were already in this area, so they were here within minutes. Now, police say the boy told his family that he found that gun while he was playing outside, and he brought it inside where the shot was fired. Hartford Police Department's Special Investigation Division on scene right now trying to figure out where the gun came from and who it belonged to.
All of a sudden, me and my sister, we heard a loud boom. We didn't know what it was. Then I told my mom I think it was a gunshot.
The child is still in the hospital at CCMC with his mother, right? Mom's
yes,
there.
My mom.
So we'll be interviewing mom, we'll be interviewing dad, we'll be interviewing neighbors. So again, this is the beginning of an investigation.
Police say that child is expected to be okay. Again, that bullet did go through his hand. He is in the hospital with his mother. Now, all of this is happening at the same time that anti-violence advocates are gathered just on the opposite side of this plaza right here, trying to deter gun violence in this particular community. In Hartford, I'm Samaya Hernandez, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Samaya, thank you. Today, the leadership of the Connecticut State Police Union is fighting back against what they say is a false narrative and a faulty audit. All of this comes after a think tank found hundreds of troopers might have falsified thousands of traffic tickets. Fox 61's Matt Caron has more.
We will never apologize for vigorously defending and zealously advocating for our troopers.
State police union leaders stepped to the microphone Wednesday to address a traffic ticket scandal that's gained national attention, blaming everyone from top agency brass.
The responsibility of the command staff of the state police failed miserably.
To the media and politicians.
What's happened over the years is that politics has saturated everything.
They also blame the Racial Profiling Prohibition Project, the auditors that uncovered the scandal, for allegedly not asking troopers what could have justified the discrepancies.
A third of our agency still to this day does not have technology in their assigned cars. So if you don't have a terminal in your car, you can't enter the information yourself. You're calling it on the phone or on the radio. It's dispatcher's responsibility to enter the information into the system.
Ken Barone conducted the audit and says he did communicate with the state police.
If you go and say, look, if you want to submit a written response, we'll include it unedited right in the report. You have that right. They didn't take us up on that. We do not have a policy of taking our work to unions or to other constituency groups.
Barone says the audit, which found as many as 300 troopers, may have falsified as many as 26,000 tickets in order to skew race data, was carefully conducted over 9 months. He stands behind the study and says he only has one regret.
I wish that the things that the state police are trying to rectify now, which we're happy with and we're happy to work with them, could have been worked on earlier.
That was Matt Karen reporting. Fire officials tonight are investigating a fire at a home in Bristol. Take a look at the scene. This was on Judson Street. Officials say the family inside got out on time, but one person was taken to the hospital. Fire officials say the house is uninhabitable and Red Cross is assisting. The call came in around 1 p.m. They say people inside the home tried to put out the fire themselves. Again, no word yet on the cause of that fire. And right now, Meriden police say they're investigating an incident on Crown Street. Take a look at that. Just really shocking video. Shows someone getting hit by a car while on a scooter. Whoever was behind the wheel of that sedan drives off. One witness even chases after the car. There's no update on the condition of the victim on the scooter. We'll keep you updated as we learn more.
An ongoing battle between a group of tenants and a landlord in New Haven continues tonight after several tenants came home to sudden eviction notices on Saturday. The landlord himself, though, has been cited for numerous violations by the city. Fox 61's Carmen Chow joining us in New Haven with more on this housing controversy. Carmen.
I'm in front of the Elizabeth Apartments on Blake Street, where this is one of the 1,300 apartments owned by Ocean Management here in New Haven. And this just so happens to be one of the many apartments where some of those tenants were served their eviction notices.
It's an abuse of power. It's an imbalance of power between tenants and landlords in this state.
On Saturday, tenants from various apartments in New Haven owned by Ocean Management came home to this eviction notice on their door. It states the tenant must leave on or before September 1st, and if they do not, eviction proceedings will continue. It does not, however, state a reason for the eviction. Jessica Stamp was one of the 15 tenants who received it.
Fear to anger to helplessness to hopelessness. It was a day of roller coaster feelings.
Stamp later met with the landlord, Shmuel Eisenberg, as well as the property manager to come to a solution. However, no resolution was ever reached. While other tenants did not get served an eviction notice, they were told their rent would skyrocket.
Rent eats up half of our paychecks, where mice bite our children, where repairs are never made while the rent goes up and up and up.
This comes after Eisenberg has appeared in court numerous times for code violations owing the city thousands of dollars. These pictures provided to us by a tenant are just some of the examples of the current conditions at their apartment. Fox 61 reached out to Ocean Management, and in a statement they said in part, quote, "We met in good faith 3 times with the representatives in an attempt to accommodate and even pressed our intention to make exceptions in some cases with specific financial needs." Mayor Justin Elliker urging Ocean Management to change their minds, supporting the petition tenants posted on the door.
It's a lot easier to just sit down, negotiate this thing out, pull back the evictions, and do what's right. Today we want to see Ocean do what's right.
The union is hoping Ocean Management will respond to their petition by meeting tomorrow morning again at the table. But if they don't respond, the union plans on taking this to a legal level and through public pressure. Reporting in New Haven, Carmen Chow, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Thank you, Carmen. Authorities are on the lookout for a person who shot a 17-year-old in East Hartford. Police say they found that 17-year-old boy on Brookline Drive with a gunshot wound to his leg around 7:30 last night. He was taken to the hospital to be treated. Officials believed that the initial shooting occurred at a different location. Anyone who has any information on this story should call East Hartford Police.
Now to look at the forecast after just a beautiful Wednesday.
Picture perfect here. Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank joining us now. Changes are coming though, Rach, right?
Yes, we have to say goodbye to the beautiful sunshine out there. Let's just drink this in for a little while longer. Hopefully you had a chance to enjoy. Temperatures right now are in the mid to upper 70s. We'll see more clouds rolling in during the day tomorrow, and there will be a rising chance for a few scattered showers. The wettest weather in store for the next couple of days will be centered around Friday morning. Some heavier downpours, even the chance for a few rumbles of thunder as well. Here's a look at the current temperatures out there. Nice and comfy. 77 in Meriden, Hartford, Windsor Locks. That's the lucky number right now. 73 in Chester with that low humidity in place. As we're gearing up for the news at 10 and 11, temperatures will be in the mid to upper 60s. And it's another comfy night if you want to open the windows. I say that, but of course some people can't. It's ragweed season and your allergies might be suffering because of it. Taking a look as we head into tomorrow morning, any early sunshine fades behind increasing clouds. And then there is a rising chance for a scattered shower midday into the afternoon, especially the western half of the state. But as we head into later tomorrow night, everyone will see showers, and that will gear us up for a very wet and even stormy start to Friday morning. Your full forecast coming up.
Thank you, Rachel. A decades-long fight to save a historic building comes to a crumbling end. Activists in Hartford's Frog Hollow neighborhood have been fighting an uphill battle to preserve a building on a Jewish cemetery, but construction crews spent all day tearing that building down. Fox 61's Samaya Hernandez tells us why it was so valuable to the community, but a sore spot for a congregation.
On Zion Hill sat an eyesore that just happens to be a nationally recognized historic asset. As of Wednesday, the Deborah Chapel reduced to a pile of rubble.
It was built and run by immigrant Jewish women. And that is very unique for the time that this was built. And I think it's important that we preserve unique history like that, especially in a historic neighborhood like Frog Hollow.
Watching as years of advocacy fell short was hard for Marcos Ardones. The building was on Beth Israel's Jewish cemetery. The congregation has long left Hartford, and local advocates hoped it would be relocated or preserved, a lone congregant among those fighting.
None of those ideas were accepted. They were always rejected outright. I know we can be better than that. This is not Beth Israel. Beth Israel can be better than this. I'm very disappointed in our board of directors.
It's a cemetery. Our building is in a cemetery. If this building was out on the street here in Frog Hollow, the conversation would be completely different.
The community made offers, but the congregation says none of them demonstrated adequate resources to relocate the building.
Over the last 70 years, it has fallen into disrepair and become a safety liability for the congregation.
These bricks went up in 1886 to house women and prepare the dead for burial until Jewish mortuaries opened in the 1940s. Now these same bricks will be repurposed at the Charter Oak Cultural Center, but advocates say that's not preservation.
They just stopped taking care of things for the most part, and then turn around and point at its poor condition as reason to destroy it.